So to set the stage here, this game comes from the finals of the qualifiers for NeXT 2021. And to get here, both Neeb and Serral have been cleaning house. Luminaries such as Laser, Lambo, and Showtime are already out. Neeb has personally sent Vanya and Mana packing. He's also sent out a probe to Hatch Block, by the way. It's something that Serral doesn't particularly need.
Current world rank 25.
It seems like whenever I try to write Neeb off, he always mounts some kind of comeback. I just really got a special place for the guy. Oh, Serral's got his 300. He gets it down. He beats the Hatch Block. Oh, that warms the cockles of my heart. If I knew where my cockles were, I'm sure they'd be above average temperature. I guess you could say my heart's been struck by an arrow because I'm watching a game with Serral.
Current world rank 2.
Well, we've actually got pool before extractor, but I'll try not to read into that. I think that's just a function of the probe messing around. Serral just happened to have a drone handy, so he dropped that pool. Neeb is gonna go gateway before core, which means we'll get that moment of cosmic beauty. Did you know that no two interstellar warp-ins are exactly identical? I totally made that up. I don't know why I lied just now. But that would be really cool if it was true. Before I forget, we are playing on Oxide. Oh, and if you haven't seen them yet, there's a lot of really cool new maps potentially coming out with the next map competition. The door has been open for more outside-of-the-box maps. And we don't know yet if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing, but the early returns suggest it's going to be pretty cool. Hatch and Queen pop, and it's 2 queens but only 2 lings for Serral. That's new to me. He's mixing things up a bit. Core's about to complete. Neeb has a stashing pylon in his main base at the ready. It looks to be a chrono-boosted adept with the warp gate research. Serral's got his Overlord spy all ready to sneak in there. He wants to see Neeb's tech choice almost as much as I do. Ling speed research starts up for Serral. And still no tech choice for Neeb. Serral's Overlord's coming in to see, but there's nothing to see so far. Oh, Neeb's being cagey. He decides to chrono boost a Stalker instead. This Overlord is potentially going to die for no information. But in exchange, Neeb's tech development is going to be delayed. Well, not that delayed. He's put down a Stargate, but look where he put it. He put it in his natural. Serral's Overlord cannot see it. But his backup Ling might. No! Neeb gets the kill. That's the first blood. Serral's figured out there's something hiding in the natural. He's shifted his Overlord over that way. He's also taken his third. Is this Stalker going to be able to deny the information? Yes, Serral did not see it, and the Stalker's going to get the kill to boot, I think. In hindsight, Serral would have been better off sacking it for the scout. Now he gets the worst of both worlds. He's even going to get supply block to boot. And now he either has to gamble or execute a safe build on the basis of no information. Or I could be totally wrong and this second Ling is going to sneak in there. We'll have to see. Oh, the Adept's not guarding the base of the ramp anymore. This time, Neeb slipped up and Serral got the scout on the Stargate. He would have even seen the Oracle in production. I thought those double Adepts were looking to attack, but I think what they are really doing is just looking to secure the third base. Neeb's gonna expand and go up to even bases with the Zerg. This definitely has the feel of a macro game, which is always a weird thing on a map as small as Oxide. It's not like we haven't seen it before. We've seen matches where this sucker's been dried of every mineral it has. But Serral just knows every timing. He sends in another Ling to get the timing on that third. It was a bit of a slow start for Serral, but he's now officially reading Neeb like a book. And the next chapter will be the single Oracle dive. It was a dark and stormy night when a lone Oracle sniped a creep tumor. 2 cagey Adepts followed up from behind. Somewhere in the distance, a crow cawed. Yes, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was a probe by a couple of Adepts, it was a shot by a queen. The Lings joined the melee and the Adepts shade away. Serral has started up a roach warren. He's not buying that this is Stargate play. He's picking up that Neeb's adding to his Adept count. Serral is also starting up his lair. Neeb's actually up to 6 Adepts now, but he's kind of got them stashed in different pockets around the map. Two of them have kind of paired up with the oracles. And then Revelation's going to be used to clean up the creep. You don't see that done too often, though it's certainly a strat that's available to Protoss. Neeb is getting a Twilight Council and a Forge. This is starting to look like a depth pressure more than ever before. Serral starts an Evo chamber and starts adding to his Ling count. But really his money's being dumped into a huge round of drones. Zerg has a slight worker lead, but it's about to grow. Serral's already pulling in a lot more minerals than Neeb. Oh, Neeb has formed all of his adepts together into a fist. And there's the shade for the natural. Oh, it's a fake out. He did get to see the Roach Warren with that. Even though Serral's kind of hiding his Roach capability, he started +1 missile attack. Bit of a gateway explosion for Neeb. He's adding 4 more to take him up to 6. Serral starts Roach speed, though he still hasn't made a single Roach. Lings pick up the shade here. It is fake. But Neeb is getting the intel on the Roach tech. Oh, we found Serral's stashed drone for his 4th. Serral loves to hide a drone, and Neeb knows it. Neeb's actually researching Blink, by the way, and he started a Robo. The Adepts fire off his shade to get rid of the Lings so they can go at the Queens. Oh, I'm so wrong. This one is real. Neeb totally faked me out there. And that's gonna let him catch an isolated Queen. He gets that kill. Neeb thinks if all you're doing is making Lings, I might take advantage with my Adepts. Serral is gonna get the cleanup. And what those Adepts won't see is that there was an infestation pit in the making. Oh, it's a parting gift. It's a stasis ward. Serral saw it though. He pulled his drones and left a single one to take the hit. And now here comes the Roaches, 7 of them. Serral stopped droning and Neeb actually took the worker lead. Serral is pooling money. There's a real chance this is for Mushroom Men, people. Are we gonna be treated to Serral's Swarm Host? Yes, we are! I should have known. This is popular for Zerg on Oxide. And it pairs very well with Roach speed. Serral starts his 4th. That's instantly spotted by Neeb's hallucinated Phoenix. He starts a Warp Prism and he has gates 7 and 8 coming up. There, Neeb saw the infestation pit. If he had time to click on those eggs, he saw the Swarm Host. Neeb's gonna be very happy with his decision to research Blink. There, Neeb's driving his Stalker Force right down the map right now. He wants to encounter those Swarm Hosts, force them to trigger their Locusts away from his base. At the same time, Neeb tries to go on even bases again by starting his 4th. Blink is done, Neeb warps in 6 more Stalkers. The first of Serral's Swarm Hosts are on the field. Oh, and Serral's gonna add the Nidus network. This isn't that poor man's Swarm Host tactic that we've been seeing. This is the full bore. First wave of Locusts are out. Neeb is very mobile, but he doesn't have any splash, and he has no shield batteries at that 4th. The Locusts just tear into it. They do have that +1 upgrade. They might time out though. Only the clock can save that base. Well, I guess that stasis ward Neeb left was pretty important too. But Serral's already sending another wave at the Protoss 3rd. Neeb has a shield battery up this time. It'll die instead of his Nexus. Neeb looks like he's gonna try for the old I can build my bases faster than you can destroy them trick. Serral managed to get a worm up between the 3rd and 5th base that Neeb does not know about. That's a problem, as is this Roach Force. Serral kills a pylon and darts away. Neeb starts a robotic support bay and a 2nd Robo. I think he's really looking to remedy the no splash situation. Both Colossi and Disruptors would really help him out in that regard. Great blink forward. But as he chases the Ravagers, the Swarm Hosts pop out of a worm and go after that 4th base again. And there's still no battery there because Serral sniped that pylon. Oh yeah, this time it's gonna fall. It's our first laser light show of the evening. The Locusts were so impressed they spontaneously combusted. Looks like Neeb's trying to switch his strategy to the old Untouchables tit for tat. He takes a base, you take a base. He puts one of your men in the hospital, you put one of his in the morgue. But now Neeb's feeling the pressure that he's got nobody at home to deal with those Locusts. And not knowing about this worm here has really cost him. It is just a terrific launching point for the Zerg. Okay, he's found it. And he's going for double Disruptors. Serral's adding yet another worm to the map. Zerg's mobility is really ramping up. Whoops, Serral sent his Locusts to the wrong spot. He thought there was a base in that top left. But he's corrected it now and that 3rd is in so much trouble. There's no battery anymore, just Stalkers to take the hits. Wow, Neeb's emergency response team is really putting out this fire. 7 probe kills is not good, but I thought he was going to lose the whole Nexus. And then he immediately swings to the other side because he knows that's where Serral wants to hit from next. Wow, Neeb's actually winning on resources lost. Though Serral is maxed and out-resourcing him, so I'm not sure how much Serral cares. Serral's using his swarm host to get vision for worms. Usually it's the opposite. The swarm hosts come out of the worms after they're built. But hey, if you're the most famous StarCraft 2 player of all time, you get to make and break the rules. Oh, a Baneling transition for Serral. If Neeb's gonna commit to Blink Stalkers long term, Serral's gonna try a counter. That's another terrific launching pad. That third base is in so much trouble. It's survived at least 2 waves already, but this time I think its number is up. It's a laser light show. And that was an important base for Neeb. He's down to 3 bases now. And the triangular third base location is extra vulnerable to those swarm hosts. Neeb's gonna try to generate some offense. He may be down on money, but he's still making disruptors 2 at a time. Serral makes a Nidus worm in the middle of the map in case he needs to bring his swarm host home. Oh, Neeb with an opportunity to overpower Serral's third. Serral's just starting Baneling speed now. He's caught with a lot of slow Banes. He's gonna try to compensate for that by trying to get a surround. He has pulled those swarm hosts back. Oh, Neeb's on thin ice here. He's gotta be careful. But at the same time, I appreciate his position. He wants to get something done before Baneling speed completes. Once that happens, the world gets a lot less safe for Stalkers. Wow, Neeb's new 4th is looking a lot more resilient. Serral almost gets that shield battery. And now Neeb zips down to the bottom right for a quick counter, but he's gonna find it empty. That is one of my favorite ways to defend a base, to not have one in the first place. Oh wow, Serral's adding 35 more Banelings. He's gonna be maxed out with almost 70 Banelings. Everyone please put on your protective eyewear. This is gonna get really explosive really soon. Oh wow, Neeb kills the stray overlord and actually supply blocks Serral. Oh, here come the excessive number of Banes. No, they pull back. And that lets Neeb get off a bunch of shots. He's got 6 disruptors. He might be able to micro his way out of this. Oh, Serral's gonna take down that newly minted third. Oh, the Banes are connected. Baneling speed is finishing. Force fields are there, but Serral's coming from all sides. Neeb is depopulating. Will Neeb have the income to remake his army? We know Serral will. He's making 62 new lings. The Zerg means to grind the Protoss down with successive waves of acidic death. Staggered sorties of caustic killing. Multiple mobs of mayhem. I'll stop now, especially since, for the moment at least, Serral's not really remaking his Banelings. Neeb continues to prioritize making disruptors, but he's got to get better hits with them. It's another wave on the triangular third. Neeb has pulled his forces back for the interception. It's another successful defense for Neeb, but the problem is these attacks are free for Serral. Well, the worm wasn't. I'm not sure what Serral was thinking with that one. He might have been just trying to intimidate Neeb. Maybe that was a get out of the game worm. Pack of Lings looking to bring down a Robo. It gets saved by the Stalkers. But the problem is these Lings are almost like bait. But the real threat is from the Locusts, coming from the swarm hosts in the top left. Neeb does not know they are there. You'd think Neeb would be at 40 disruptors based on the rate he's been making them. I guess that's a testament to the way Serral's been killing them. He's only got 3, trying to get up to 5. Good hit there, though. Oh, this one's gonna be tough to watch. Oh, am I kidding? I'm totally gonna watch this. So many probes getting cleaned out, 9 dead, and then he turns his attention to the Nexus. It's a laser light show. I think there was like some 1980s Pet Shop Boys playing in the background there. Oh, I may have missed that hit, but I didn't miss the way Neeb's supply just dropped. Serral got some big time connections. But with the Banelings out of the way, Neeb wants to do some counter damage. He's just never been able to slow down Serral's income. And until he does that, the Zerg is always going to replenish faster. Okay, this is exactly what he needs. He needs to kill a hatch. Oh, he left it. No, he's going back for it. Even better if we get the Nidus network behind it. But like me, did he get too greedy? Zerg is in full pursuit. Serral's actually going to punish Neeb by not only remaking that hatch, he's making one in the top left. And there's another wave of locusts on that triangular third. We're going to have another laser light show. This time I believe the music will be the Ramones and the Clash. I'm getting a little bit of a punk vibe here. Good tenacity by Neeb for remaking that Nexus. But he's not going to get his third back up, and he's mined out at his main. Neeb just does not have the funds to rebuild his depleted army. I think there's a key in the center of his keyboard that he needs to be... He's typed GG! A decisive victory by the Night King. Just before I get into this game, I have to ask a very important question. And that is this. Did Walt Disney release a movie that features a woman riding a baneling? And if so, am I offended at the IP theft? Or is that the coolest thing I've ever seen? Maybe I'm getting a little too desperate for a Starcraft movie, but I think I'll take what I can get. Alright, on to our game here. Classic swarm host destruction in PvZ. Firstly, Neeb was certainly hurt by his inability to scout the Nidus worm locations. If you can't see them, they will eventually take you down. But that's nothing new. What's also not so new, and I've talked about before, is that Protoss has gotten really good at understanding the cooldown cycle of the swarm host and making their move during those brief lulls of safety. What I haven't touched on is how well Zerg has started adapting to that. Zerg has really reduced the number of swarm hosts and beefed up the number of roach ravaged supply. This does two things, both of which Serral showcased in this game really well. Firstly, it gives Protoss something to worry about in between cooldowns. It just leaves the Protoss locked in on defense and the Zerg is free to mine away like crazy, even if the Zerg has less drones to do it with, such as Serral did here. But Serral was also sniping targets which assisted the swarm host. I love that. Outside of the mothership cloak, which Neeb just did not have available, one of the best swarm host defenses is battery overcharge. Serral used caustic bile shots to remove pylons and batteries to deny Neeb this ability. That meant if you're not losing your Nexus, you're losing your units in defense of the Locust. Losing mobile units to free units is very inefficient, and Protoss can only sustain that for so long. Serral is really good at this. He's also pretty excellent at microing banelings, and I love how he timed this mass attack so that baneling speed would kick in right in the middle of it. That really has to throw the Protoss player off. It's not just how many banelings you have, it's how many sides they're coming from. This was the moment that Neeb really depopulated, and his income was hurting too much for him to get back in it. Lastly, I just wanted to warn you that I am going to be experimenting in a few videos coming up. I'm going to be stripping out the Starcraft game music and replacing it with new instrumental music to see what that's like. Don't get me wrong, Blizzard put in pretty decent music as far as video games go, and I approve. But after 10 years, I've kind of long tuned it out. I've seen this done before with rock music and even in one case country music, and I found the lyrics really distracting. So I thought the lesson was, don't mess with a good thing. Just keep the game music and be happy. But now I'm thinking, what if I use some of the lower key music from my pre-game intros? That might work. Anyways, let me know what you think. If it's a bust, I'll be able to switch back to in-game music, no problem. That's it. Just let me say from my base to yours, Zugzwang out. To continue your StarCraft journey, Nova advises you to click the video in the upper rectangle. But Kerrigan warns you to watch your 6 and click the video in the bottom rectangle. Or you can stimpack your StarCraft experience. Subscribe to Zugzwang StarCraft. Just hit the circle. From my base to yours, Zugzwang out.